Hey there, everybody. Pastor Padron here, and today I have a follow-up to my recent review on Cornell and Deal's From Beyond, their 2025 release. And during that review, I wanted to see how it compared to earlier versions. And I found in my cellar a tin of the original release. This was tinned in April 2019 of From Beyond, number 9 of 225 tins. And I'm going to be smoking that alongside this year's release of From Beyond, which is one of 15,000 tins, and it was tinned in 10/06/25. So we're going to see just how different these two blends are to each other. The original intent of this blend was to mimic the flavors of a circa 1990s nightcap by Dunhill. And at the time, I thought Jeremy Reeves had done a very good thing. Although, like I said in my notes for the review, I haven't had a tin that old, so I can't completely compare it. I had to just judge the tobacco based on its own merit. I really enjoyed it, and it did taste, it did have that old kind of flavor to it. But I remembered this year's release being different from the prior years. So what I thought I would do is smoke these side by side and let you know if I find any real noticeable differences. Now, of course, the original tin here has got 6 years of age on it, so it's even, in some ways, this is apples to oranges, but you know, what can you do? You can't compare an original release and not expect it to be older. Smoking these in similar pipes. They are both going to be in 7LE 320s. The Foresta will be the current release, and the Fantasia will be the original release. All right, so this year's release of From Beyond. And the original release of From Beyond. All right. Now that we've got these two pipes going, let's do a little comparison. And we'll start with the original. It's very smoky, nutty, that smoky mesquite kind of flavor that I often describe from Latakia. It has a little sweet and sour to it. Maybe a little more sour than sweet. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all. There's a sour, citrusy kind of zing to it. The Orientals are definitely there. You've got that kind of floral note in the air as you're smoking this. There's a really nice kind of citrusy pepper zing in the retrohale that I really like. And there's a little zing left on the palate too on the finish. The original blend is smoking very nice. It's very smooth. It's got a lot of spice to it, which especially after sitting for an additional 6 years is really good to see that the tobacco is still holding up. It obviously ages well. Yeah, that citrusy white pepper zing in the retrohale is Very, very distinct. And I like it. All right, let's switch pipes and go to this year's release of From Beyond. It is as I remembered. This new release of From Beyond is much smoother and creamier than the original release, and the flavors are much more working together than in a kind of a symphonic sense than they are in the original symphonic sense. I hope you understand. What does that even mean? I mean, the flavors work together and play together more as one thing than, oh yeah, that's the Latakia, that's the Perique, that's the Oriental, that's the Virginia. And in the current release of this, in the current release of From Beyond, the flavors play very well together and support each other in ways that I don't know how to describe it. In my mind, the tobaccos in the current release of From Beyond are working much more as a unity than the tobaccos in the original release. The retrohale in the current release of From Beyond is smoldery. It's still got that kind of peppery zing, but it's more oaky than white pepper citrus. There's still the zing on the tongue too, but it's much more earthy. The Latakia is still, of course, very prominent, but because of how it is interacting with the other tobaccos, it's not as blunt. That may be the best word, as it is in the original blend. Let's pick up the original release again. And again, a little coffee cleansing. There's definitely a citrus in this from the Virginias. Maybe it's from the Orientals as well, or maybe both playing together. That is much more lemony and much more, let's use the word again, blunt than in the current release. It's much less dark. It's much less earthy. It's much more woody, mesquite-y, smoky. And that white pepper in the retro, in the original, is not in the current release at all. Yeah, there's none of that strong citrus in the retro at all in the current release. And there's still that pepper, but it's a much more earthy, kind of darker, more like a black pepper than the zingy, citrusy white pepper in the original release. They're both very, very good, but very different. All right, so let's sum up the differences here in these two blends. They both use the same type of components. Cyprian Latakia, Red Virginias, Turkish Izmir, Basma, and Louisiana Perique, and Cyprian Latakia, Red, Bright Canadian Virginia. Is that in this one? Let's see. There is no Bright Canadian listed on the original here. And then Thai Izmir, which I believe they used a kind of Izmir on this one. Yes, Turkish Izmir in the original, Greek Basma, both the same. Louisiana Perique from St. James Parish, that's both the same. So not quite the same components in each blend. So yeah, naturally it's going to be a little bit different. This was also going to be different because it's got 6 more years of age on it. But the two blends are very, very enjoyable. And if you like nightcap, if you like aged nightcap, you're going to enjoy both of these very much. They've got that kind of musty, aged quality to them as you taste them. But they're also very, very different. If you were hoping for something a little bit more earthy, a little bit more subdued, a little bit something that was not as, I kind of compare this to your fire in the fireplace or something. This is still kind of a low burning fire, whereas this is more like smoldering coals. And they both produce a lot of heat. They both have a lot of light to it, but they do that in different ways. I really enjoy the current release, I think, for my palate, a little bit better than the original release here. And I think it kind of speaks to Jeremy's growing as a blender. I think that this was awesome, and I think you can tell that his skills as a blender are growing with this one, where the tobaccos seem to play much better together than they do in this one, which is not to say that they're not playing together in this, but there's much more of a unity between the tobaccos in the current blend than there is in this one. They definitely play well together here, but they're all still all the different tobaccos are still kind of saying, hey, here I am. Look at me, taste me, smell me. Whereas this is more like, let's work together and make something unique. You know that those tobaccos are there, you can kind of sense them, but they're so connected to the other tobaccos that are there that they're a little bit harder to pick out. And I enjoy that very much. Anyway, From Beyond officially comes out today, October 21st at 6 p.m. This was out a long time ago, and only 225 tins. If you have one of these, you're very lucky. But I'd encourage you to go and pick this up. If you're a Latakia fan, English fan, nightcap fan, it is totally worth getting. And I'm going to enjoy finishing both of these pipes right now before I have to head into work. Hope this was helpful to you. I will talk to you soon. Stay smoky, my friends.